Hello and welcome to this special show on exit polls, which is expected anytime now. And welcoming me with me is Shivani Gharat, and I, Ankur Mishra, will take you through in next 3 hours of special coverage on ET Now, and that is only on election and what will be the impact on markets. 4 states, 1 union territory, and that witnessed high voltage election battle. The election is significant for BJP as it hopes to make a mark in important states like West Bengal, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, where till decades ago they had minimal presence. And this election is equally important for regional parties like TMC, DMK, and forces in Kerala that to thrive on voter base in the state. What do you think? The outcome will decide for main parties as well as the regional parties, and that debate will continue.
Right. It's a high-stakes election, that happened this year, in fact, in 4 states and 1 union territory. So this election has also been marked by, its high voter turnout in the shadow of special intensive revision SIR, in fact, of the electoral rolls that eliminated duplicate and bogus voters from the list. For example, in the second phase of West Bengal election Commission has recorded almost 90% voter turnout till 5 p.m. What do these factors mean in this crucial election? We will dive deep into the numbers of voter turnout as we bring you the projections of the JVC exit polls. Now,
yes. So definitely we'll bring that poll, and not only poll, we'll bring you poll of polls also. So you don't need to go anywhere. You just need to watch ET Now to understand the impact not only politically but how it will impact the business, how it will impact you. But before we start, on to Times Network's exclusive. We got Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee, who has blamed CRPF for the poll violence. Let's listen into what she had to say.
Anything you want to say, ma'am? CRPF, anything on CRPF? Ma'am, violence is happening, ma'am.
It's because of CRPF.
Because of CRPF, ma'am. But Suvendu Adhikari is saying that it is TMC is going, ma'am. Anything you want to say, ma'am?
Right, to discuss, these state elections, we are now joined in by Pankaj Pachauri, who's a senior journalist and broadcaster. Mr. Pachauri, quickly, your reaction on the kind of voter turnout that we have seen in West Bengal in phase 1 and today in phase 2, over 90% voter turnout. What does it mean for the elections?
Thank you. This is very important for democracy, for participation of people who are choosing to elect their leaders and their here in this case their Vidhan Sabha members. And it is quite interesting to see that the voter turnout is significant in the second polls, because it used to be only about 78% and now it's gone about 90%. Which is quite a big jump. And earlier, in the earlier part of the election, the earlier voting, it was a jump from 83 to about 92. So it's quite good thing. But in terms of politics, if you see, almost 10%, 10 to 11% votes have been nullified through SIR. So this could also be because the base has become smaller. That's why the base voting percentage has also gone up. So that one has to keep in mind. So your exit polls have not come yet. I'll just give you a history about the exit polls. Then the last elections, 2021, out of the 10 exit polls, only 2 gave Mamata Banerjee a slight majority. And 8 out of 10 gave BJP a very good chance to make the government in West Bengal. And you could see what happened. She was a total landslide at that time. So this exit polls are fine, but the real thing, the real test would come out only on the 4th of May, and we wait for that. And until then, we can discuss, what was very important and what was significant about these elections. Number one was the SIR. so many votes were culled in a way, and including some members of the election commission, officials of the election commission. There was a list of 65 officials of election commission who went to the Supreme Court saying that their votes have been nullified by the election commission. And while they were conducting this entire exercise of how millions of people vote. So that's one thing which is very important about these elections, that the election commission's functioning has come under a microscope. That how can you can have...
Right. Point well taken. In fact, you explained so beautifully the base effect, which is also coming into play, especially Bengal this time. But more importantly, let's also shift focus to the numbers which will start coming in. Before I come there, we also have with another guest, Jain. Okay, Pankaj, I want to understand from you. You explained, of course, the base and the maths. But the issues this time, especially in Bengal, both the parties were giving so many promises, especially to the female participants, the voters of female voters in West Bengal. There has been direct benefit transfer announcement, there has been jobs announcement. Which are the issues you think that voters actually will retain, the parties will retain them, and more importantly, which are the issues that are actually striking the chord? We have, before that, sorry to interrupt in between, we have got the Assam numbers, and so we'll begin the projections coming in from Assam, where NDA is projected to win with a huge margin. And these are JVC numbers, whereby 88 to 101 seats are going in favor of NDA in Assam as per the poll which has been done by JVC. How do you read these numbers, Pankaj? 88 to 101, no surprise in Assam?
No surprise in Assam. Assam was the only state in which the BJP had a very clear chance of winning, and that's because of the Chief Minister and Mr. Sharma, who's been campaigning very hard. And he had the full support of his central ministers and the party. And that was the only state where Bharatiya Janata Party, we could have said from the very beginning, had a clear chance of winning this election. So that's another win for the Bharatiya Janata Party there. Now, after these elections, and mind my words here very carefully, who will be the Chief Minister? Will Mr. Sharma continue as a chief minister, or the Bharatiya Janata Party would like to change that to someone else? So that's very important, because this time in these elections in Assam, there were murmurs within the party that the chief minister was backing a lot of independent candidates who would have their loyalties to him and not to the party. So that's one game.
Sticking with Assam, also help us understand what, how much did the face of Gaurav Gogoi, for Congress impact, BJP's, in the typical BJP stronghold of Upper Assam?
Gaurav Gogoi is a good face for the Congress party, young fellow, very energetic. But he doesn't have the capabilities of his father, Tarun Gogoi, who I had a chance to meet a number of times. And he was a very good organizer, Tarun Gogoi. And he used to balance very beautifully between the central Congress party leadership here and the leaders in the state. And the only time he had a problem was when Mr. Sharma broke off from Congress party and went to BJP. And he continues to actually follow the style of Tarun Gogoi, and that's why he's a good leader right now for the BJP, because he continues that tradition where he has a very good relationship with the central leadership, and at the same time his organizational structure within the state is very strong. So Gaurav, a young face from the Congress party, very close to the party leadership here in Delhi, very articulate in the parliament, you must have seen, but not as much organizational capabilities as the Congress party used to have there in Assam. So that is why the Congress party is, and also just before the election, Mr. Bordolo also crossed over to the Bharatiya Janata Party, and which was also a big jolt to the Congress party in the state. And Gaurav Gogoi could not stop that, because now he's so young that he used to be like a child when all these other leaders were his father's contemporaries. So he has that problem also. Always happens, the generational transition in the Congress party in the state. And if you're talking about Upper Assam and all, but the structure of the party, the foundation in the state, in the taluka level, at the block level, those are not very strong right now, and that we are seeing in this exit polls right now. So Bharatiya Janata Party from the beginning was ahead and continues according to the exit polls.
Definitely, and that is what exit poll is pointing out. The JVC numbers, while we discuss the numbers for NDA, it is 88 to 101, Congress 23 to 33. But more importantly, let's also look at the vote share which has been predicted by JVC. If you talk about NDA, that is 46.5 to 48.5%, and similarly, the other party, which is Congress Plus, is getting 36.5 to 39.5. So clearly, there is a gap of around 10% if you talk about the vote share as per the projections which has been made by JVC. Mr. Jayant Menkar has also joined us. Mr. Menkar, welcome. How do you see the results of Assam, which has been projected by JVC so far?
Well, it's a fact. Will BJP be able to take the third term? It seems that though SIR and other problems are there, still Congress has not made much inroads in Assam. And secondly, though AIUDF, as you are saying that the other parties, they are not getting good response. Though somehow AIUDF is not that powerful, but the fact is this may be the early exit of Rahul Gandhi from Assam elections, and he is going to Andaman for Greater Andaman issue and all that, and not concentrating much on the Assam actually. So that seems that it has created a vacuum. Despite this fact, when the issue of the passport of Himanta Biswa Sarma and other, it has come, BJP also felt, are they losing the grounds? It's a fact that it has come. But will it go to that extent that, something like over 60 to 63? Will Congress reach that? So it seems it is unlikely, and BJP will be able to retain its only state. That's the only thing that they will get in their kitty. Otherwise, Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala obviously will not be in their kitty.
Right. Again, when it comes to central Assam, there was a record turnout, historic turnout of 85.9%, right there in central Assam. What does that signify about, the voter sentiment?
Well, you see, it seems that the issue of religion, that's what the BJP is trying to make, not only why in Assam or Bengal, rather religion is the only issue that BJP is making from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and with the infiltration and particular of then targeting a particular religion, all these things. So the polarization of the voters on the lines of caste, or I should say on the lines of religion, that starts from both the sides. And I got to know just now, I was on another channel also that was discussed, that the people, the labor force of Assam, Bengal, who had gone to other states, they went by train, even by flight, anyway, going and voting there. So that sort of polarization has increased, and that is why we could see over 90% voting in Bengal. And I believe in Assam also there was a huge turnout, and that is the major reason the polarization on the religion line, and that may have some impact. And that is why I'm saying, though according to predictions, actually Congress is losing the ground, but anything can happen because people are unhappy with the SIR and other things also.
JVC exit polls project the return of UDF in Kerala with projected seat share of 72 to 84. The win margin seems slim as LDF is projected to get 52 to 61 seats, and those are the numbers right there in front of our screen. Now, since Kerala, Mr. Pachauri, historically has alternated power till about 2021, now seems like a time that Pinarayi Vijayan will overcome the hurdle and probably the administrative fatigue and probably secure an unprecedented third term.
I have my doubts about that because from all indications earlier, the UDF was supposedly doing pretty good at that time. If Pinarayi Vijayan makes a third win in LDF, see, your numbers are saying very clearly that UDF is even in vote share they are higher up, and even in the seat 72 to 84. They are doing it. So there is some sort of a fatigue setting in Kerala, and the LDF has done very well for about 10 years. And it was quite a shock when the last elections they won again, because the Kerala has been a ping pong sort of a match always between the UDF and LDF all the time. And after two terms, Pinarayi Vijayan is looking tired. And there's a fatigue there. The Kerala people, just remember very clearly, the Kerala people are very literate. I mean, the Kerala is quite high in terms of human development index. I mean, even competing with some of the Nordic countries, and people are educated, and they want to give the mandate to another party each time. So that's how the democracy functions there. So the other party then improves its performance among the people. And that's why we keep seeing this change one after another. And as the exit polls are saying that the UDF is doing better than the LDF. So that's good news for the Congress party from the south. As my other colleague on the panel was saying, that Rahul Gandhi is in Andaman Nicobar. There are no elections there right now. But from the south, there is a good story. And this is also an NDA there. If you look at it, the vote share. If the NDA's vote share is going to 15 to 16%, that's quite a jump. Because earlier, Bharatiya Janata Party on its own used to get about 3-4%, and they moved up to about 10%. And that's quite an increase there, because they also made a lot of inroads in that, but not enough. And they don't have a clear leader in Kerala, and they don't have enough traction with the people. Kerala and West Bengal, mind you, are two states where the CPM had been in power for a very long time.
Definitely. Mr. Pachauri, point taken here. As you were also pointing out, the seat, the percentage is actually talking more than as you were explaining also, 15% for NDA. Do you think that is going to be the deciding factor? Because between both the parties, the difference is not much as far as the JVC poll is concerned. Do you think that is going to play a very crucial role in the final counting day on 4th of May?
Yes, it can, because the Kerala, if you look at the margin of victory in Kerala, it's not very high. On an average, the margin of victory is about 10 to 15,000 votes in each seat, on the average, if you look at it. So any vote shift from 5 to 6,000 in a constituency from here to there can make a difference there. And if NDA with their 15% vote sort of forces a sort of a hung assembly in Kerala, that would be a big victory for them. if that happens. I don't see it happening because right now it's very clear what the results are showing. But still, I mean, the upper side for LDF is 40% and the upper side for UDF is 42%. That's not much of a difference. There's only 2% difference. And mind you, all the exit polls have a margin of error of 3%. So it can go any which way. But whatever I have gathered talking to people in Kerala is that there's a tiredness in the LDF governance. People want change. And the Congress party this time, despite their inner some sort of frictions, but they could sort of present a good sort of leadership, a cohesive leadership, and they don't want to lose another states. Now they'll be in power. If you look at the Congress in Kerala, in Karnataka, and in Telangana. So the three big southern states will be with the Congress party, and there's a push in the Congress party to maximize, and they are also in partnership in Tamil Nadu. So the entire South sort of a thing, the push of the Congress to get better bang for the buck, as they say, from the South. I mean, that's showing some good results.
Right. Mr. Menkar, your reaction on the Kerala exit polls. Also, minority vote bank plays a very critical role, in Kerala with Christians and Muslim voters. How does this exit poll, demonstrate that voter shift, that actually helped LDF win in 2021?
Well, first your question is about how this three-party one, when the Kerala elections are going in three ways. You know that in Thiruvananthapuram, BJP has got its mayor elected, and that is more significant. BJP is trying to make inroads wherever they think they can, and particularly in urban areas. What is happening is either LDF or UDF, whosoever they can see the vulnerable one. They are trying to dominate and trying to make a space for that. And as per the exit polls are showing that BJP may have a minuscule presence, at least in Kerala Assembly. But the real problem is this: as Pinarayi Vijayan has got a long term, people are, as what has been said, fed up or whatever, tired. Ramesh Chennithala, who is the Maharashtra Pradesh, I'm sitting in Mumbai, who is also the in charge of Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee, is waiting to be the Chief Minister of Kerala. And obviously, as the ping pong goes on, so always it is alternate one, but this time there was a long term for that. But still, it seems that Ramesh Chennithala may take over definitely as the Chief Minister. But this Christian and Muslim issue that you are pointing out, on this issue, BJP is trying to, vitiate the atmosphere and even polarize the atmosphere in which Hindus are coming to BJP. But education, that is playing more important role. Kerala's education, as we know, 99%, I should say 100% literacy rate. So these things, the issues that dominate the North India, the cow belt, that hardly penetrates here in South India, and that is why it will not make has not made so far also any impact, and it will not make any impact. Okay, the vote shares will get divided in LDF and UDF, and one of the senior functionaries of LDF and even
we can see, Mr. Menkar, there is some technical disturbance in between, and I would urge you to join back again. In between what we are doing, we are taking a very quick break, but we'll request both the gentlemen to stay with us, and viewers, you don't go away, because non-stop continuous coverage continues on ET Now.
ये असम है मॉडल 2.4 ready
us. Some provoke us. Some transform the way the world moves. We track the minds shaping these movements. From brands redefining markets to startups rewriting the rules, we uncover the stories and trends fueling the brand economy. Campaigns that go viral, products that change the game, ideas that spark culture. This is Brandverse, your window into the world that builds the brands.
আমি বাজে কথা বলি না
ये असम है मॉडल 2.4 ready है
Hello and welcome to a special coverage on elections on ET Now with me, Ankur Mishra, and my colleague Sumita Karir joining from Delhi studio. Now, till now, JVC poll has predicted that it is going to be one-way rally for NDA plus in Assam, while on the other hand, if you talk about Kerala, it is a tight race. UDF and LDF is almost neck to neck, but the difference is around 15% vote share, which is likely to be retained by NDA, and that may be the deciding factors. To decode these numbers, the exit polls, we have with us Mr. Jayant Menkar as well as Mr. Pankaj Pachauri. Mr. Menkar, we were discussing about, right, Mr. Pachauri is with us, and we are also trying to connect with Mr. Menkar. There is some technical issue, but Mr. Pachauri, as we were discussing about Assam, now is there going to be any surprise you expect in Assam? Because we discussed about exit polls also, and last time you mentioned, especially in Bengal, the prediction was not right on the counting day.
Yes, that's correct. But in Assam, the situation is totally different from West Bengal. In West Bengal, if you look why the exit polls go wrong, if you look at it, this time there is a big issue in West Bengal is about women. Okay, there are two kind of slogans in West Bengal this time. One is Badla and Badla. Okay, that is from the NDA side. And the other one is Delhi versus Didi. So that's a very strong thing. Delhi versus Didi, and Didi also includes the women voters. So if you look at the past, TMC's vote over BJP, if you look at it, their lead over BJP is 4 times +4% in terms of men. But in terms of women, it's about 10 times, 10%. So 10% higher. Votes of women go to TMC than the BJP. So that's one. And that's why, if you look at it, in last elections, Mamata Banerjee fielded 20% of her candidates were women. So naturally, she has the highest number of women in Vidhan Sabha in Calcutta. And on the other hand, if you look at the Lok Sabha here in Delhi, then she's already hit that 37% mark of women parliamentarians in Delhi. And these two things which happened in this election, that Nari Shakti Vandana, that bill which came, which was actually to draw some women voters away from Mamata Banerjee, which didn't happen. It fell in the parliament. And number two, the big issue in West Bengal this time has also become the huge deployment of central security forces for election duty. I'll just give you one small figure. In 2009, when the militancy was at its peak in Jammu and Kashmir, there were 225 companies of paramilitary forces deployed for election duty. This time in West Bengal, where there's no militancy as such, there are 480 companies of paramilitary which has been deployed. And that has become a huge issue, that people are coming from outside and they are trying to threaten us. So that's become a big,
but Mr. Pachauri, there have been instances of violence in Bengal, if you see, that has been ill-famed for, political violence in these many years, past years. And that's what BJP is essentially claiming, that we're going to get rid of the unemployment problem in the state. We're going to get rid of the lack of development. There's been a flight of companies. And that's essentially what the BJP is saying. But coming back to the question that you essentially, the point that you essentially made about women voters, let me quote you a figure. Now, in 2021, since you were quoting that 72 to 75% of women voted for the TMC. But is this voting voting pattern that we're seeing, especially with how Bengal votes, is this only to do with the kind of schemes that have been coming up with, that the Mamata Banerjee government has been coming up with, Lakshmi Bandar, for instance? And how is this election outcome going to be different, given the fact that the RG car case, that's been a big campaign issue?
Just about giving freebies. Everyone is giving freebies. I mean, there's a video of a student in Aligarh Muslim University today. Please go and watch it. Who is promising air conditions, ACs to the students. So these things become like totally laughable. And the states can't, you are a business channel. You know that the states are in a terrible shape in terms of their fiscal prudence. So that's nothing. The thing is that Mamata Banerjee understands that it's the political power. And that's why she allocates more tickets, party tickets, to women in Lok Sabha and in Vidhan Sabha. And that's why she keeps winning. And this whole slogan of Didi versus Delhi is...
Interrupt in between. We just want to address a few more numbers. Exit poll numbers are out, and this time it is about Tamil Nadu. Out of 234 seats, AIDMK plus is likely to get between 128 to 147 seats. If you talk about DMK plus, 75 to 95 seats, and TVK is likely to get 8 to 15 seats. So surprise, surprise, if you talk in terms of vote share, AIDMK is likely to get somewhere between 38.2 to 40.1%. Similarly, the gap between AIDMK and DMK is likely to be 5% or so, because DMK plus is likely to get 35.2% to 37.8%, and others are likely to get between 18 to 19%. So these numbers looks like a big surprise. First, I want to come to you, Mr. Pachauri, on this.
Yes, this is a surprising figure because Stalin has been doing very well. The AIADMK is in disarray, sort of. And they don't have a cohesive, but there's been defections, there's no cohesive leadership. Though Bharatiya Janata Party has been making a push as an AIDMK alliance there, but not enough. So this is a bit of a surprise. And again, I'd like to mark it here that the difference between the two in terms of vote share is about 3 to 4%, and the margin of error in each exit poll. And it should say very clearly, the exit pollsters should say clearly that about 3% plus or minus. So this can again go anyway. And number three, when you're talking about TVK, I mean, Vijay is a great actor and he's got a huge fan following and all that. But to get 8 to 15 seats in his debut is a bit of, I think, overstatement. And he may get some votes and a couple of seats, but not at this level. 18% vote share is very huge. You can imagine that if you break down the AIA-DMK alliance or DMK alliance, so the smaller partners in both the alliance, they do not have this kind of vote share. Like the BJP would not have that kind of vote share. And the smaller parties in DMK, they will not have that kind of a vote share. So this is huge and this is surprising. And we'll get to know on the 4th. But my money is on Stalin and DMK alliance scraping through, because that has been, again, this now we are in this Blinkit age. And the tiredness from one government, sets in very fast. So there may be a change of mood, but not to this level.
Okay, so Mr. Pachauri, you're going ahead with DMK. Of course, these are just exit poll numbers, and we'll have to see the final results on May the 4th. But gentlemen, let me also welcome on the broadcast Mr. Jayant Menkar. He's a senior political analyst, and Mr. Ajay Bagga. Let me come to you first, Mr. Menkar. Looking at the exit poll numbers, how significant do you think was the Dravidian identity versus the outsiders debate that we saw during the campaign phase in the state?
So let us first see that hope my voice is reaching you properly. Let us first see that Tamil Nadu, which had two leaders in Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi, there is a big vacuum as far as after the death of Jayalalitha, and so this Vijay Thalapathy has made it, but he's not making it at all a big. AIADMK just trying to stand, and with BJP trying to stand with the help of AIADMK. So obviously, MK Stalin has a long way ahead, definitely another term, and Vijay Thalapathy may make some inroads, but it is not at all reaching to power. MK Stalin has a complete cakewalk, I should say, for the next 5 years, and the Dravidian identity, Tamil identity, whatever that has been said, or opposing the thrust of Hindi, whatever that may be said, has been is a critical point, and on that and on that note, we will see that Stalin is scaling through the elections.
Right, right, Mr. Menkar, point taken. Let me also welcome Mr. Ajay Bagga. Mr. Bagga, so far we have seen exit polls by JVC of 3 states. Out of 3, if you see, in Assam, of course, there is no surprise. Looks like that NDA will come to power. In Kerala, it is neck to neck. You can say that NDA may be a kingmaker. And if you talk about Tamil Nadu, there also JVC is saying that AIDMK plus is likely to sail through. Do you think market will take it with both hands? Of course, Bengal exit polls are still awaited, but still it is very much positive for markets.
Yeah, what is the reality in the markets? Most of the big institutions have their own polls running. And the same agencies which give out these exit polls are also contracted with most of the big institutional investors. So whatever is coming out today is already discounted in the market. The second big reality is that state elections really don't have a long duration impact on the market. So maybe a 1 day, 2 day impact comes in, but normally the markets go back again to global. And the 3 things that move the Indian markets: what is the oil price, what is the FPI flow direction, and how is the rupee looking? Those are the 3 big macro factors which determine our markets. So maybe a day, 2 days, and again, if the results are as close as you are showing, say in Tamil Nadu and Bengal, we don't have the results yet of the exit polls. Then again, it's a little bit confusion for the market. So I would say largely known. Second, not a very durable impact on the markets. Third, back to the global by next week. So maybe, on the 4th, when the results come in, you could see some amount of reaction in the markets. But the big thing that the markets will look at, in case the BJP makes inroads in Bengal and gets a better performance in Tamil Nadu, then 2029 becomes stronger. But still, that's a very long time away, nearly 3 years to go. So that's one stretch that the markets would look at. Bengal is very important. It's a large state, but it is an underperforming state. So a comparable a 10 crore state, Tamil Nadu at 7 crore population is delivering nearly 10% of India's GDP and growing so fast. With respect to Bengal, the growth has been lower even versus, say, a large population state like UP, which is very low on per capita. But the kind of growth that is happening in UP and with its population, you multiply that, and UP already is in the top 3. It will try and unseat a Tamil Nadu because just the sheer number, 24 crores population, it's like a Brazil sitting in the center of India. If we can unleash those impulses, it can really change the entire texture of the Indian GDP. So that's the kind of potential for Bengal also, with a pro-development government. At Bengal, we have to see as a continuum, right from the communists, then to TMC 3 terms, the kind of anti-industry, the communists did a very bad thing to Aditya Birla. They chased away the industries. And the TMC did it to Ratan Tata. Yeah, go ahead, Sumit.
Right, Mr. Bagga, and that really kind of reflects in the kind of industry which is present or not present at all in West Bengal, and that is something that's been the BJP's main pitch this election season. But let me present a counterpoint to what you essentially stated, that markets are not really looking at these state elections that keenly. But if BJP manages, a strong win in most of these states, will that not ensure the fact that there is strong momentum behind the NDA for 2027 UP elections and then for 2029 elections, signaling policy continuity?
The continent in itself, as I said, at 24 crores, we underestimate just the sheer size of UP. UP decides who comes to power. UP doesn't get influenced by Bengal or Assam.
Yes.
Assam is factored in. Assam is economically not that important. It's the gateway to the Seven Sisters. So it's very important geostrategically for us. And there's a lot of potential for Assam. So that will happen. But the big prize is West Bengal. If we can turn around West Bengal to its erstwhile grandeur, when I started working 35, 40 years back, the banking hub was Calcutta. We used to go to SBI headquarters, Allahabad Bank headquarters, 2 or 3 others. The Birlas were based out of there. Tatas were based out of there. ITC was sitting there. There was a huge industrial base in Bengal, which got eroded by the communists. And then the TMC did not really attract what could have been done. So there's a lot of human capital in Bengal. There is a lot of natural availability of good opportunities if you really put in the right climate. So it can help the Indian GDP a lot if West Bengal you get a more pro-development kind of or even if TMC comes back, but they are forced onto the development plank instead of appeasement or goodies plank. That will help a lot. What Tamil Nadu is doing, what Gujarat has achieved, what Maharashtra has achieved, what Chandrababu is doing. Look at in one day, he's got a $15 billion from Google data center and he's got an Ambani's data center, which is another $22 billion. That's the kind of stuff Chandrababu did in the 90s in Hyderabad. I was part of that work and I was working for a foreign bank, even for setting up KPOs, VPOs. You could go meet Chandrababu Naidu straight. He would say, how many jobs are you going to do? I'm giving you land. I'm giving you electricity. Anything you need, you come back to my office. This is the person in my office who will tag along. But I want all your investments into Hyderabad. He's doing that with Visakhapatnam now. I would like to see a chief minister who goes around the world and gets that to Calcutta. Calcutta and Bengal could be our entry into Southeast Asia. That's the opportunity which is going down the coast to Vizag right now because there is somebody as dynamic as Chandrababu Naidu sitting there. That opportunity is there for West Bengal also, if we can create the right climate. So that is the big thing I would say. If the markets see that, there would be an impact. But otherwise, normally, state elections don't have an impact. I'm agreeable to you that UP, the BJP, if they do well in Bengal or if they form a government, they will come back very confidently for UP. But UP is a very different, makeup than the Bengal. Bengal was different. South Bengal, North Bengal was different. Darjeeling area was different. The eastern tribal belt was different. All those things.
Definitely, Mr. Bagga, point well taken. But gentlemen, do stay with us because it is time to take a very short break. And don't go away. We'll be right back very soon.
ये आसाम है मॉडल 2.4 रेडी यार ये आसाम है मॉडल 2.4 रेडी यार
Welcome back for a very special coverage on exit polls on ET Now with me, Ankur Mishra, and my colleague Sumita Karir. We are discussing 4 important states, and out of that, 3 states exit polls are out, which are done by JVC. And we have an eminent panel to discuss the same. We have with us Mr. Pankaj Pachauri, we have Mr. Menkar as well as Mr. Bagga. But just to look at how the poll of polls actually looks like, we have Tamil Nadu, where People's Pulse is predicting that DMK is likely to get 125 to 145 seats and AIDMK is only getting 65 to 80 seats, while Vijay's party is getting 18 to 24 seats and others may get 2 to 6. Similarly, PMark is giving 125 to 145 to DMK and 65 to 85 AIDMK. If you talk about Metris, that is giving 120 to 134 seats to DMK plus, and AIDMK is likely to get around 100 at the maximum possibility, and TVK is likely to get 10 to 12. While if you take just a poll of polls, DMK is likely to get 112 to 129, 86 to 103 to AIDMK, and TVK is likely to get 13 to 19 seats. So this is the picture of Tamil Nadu, where you can see not only JVC, but other polls are giving a different situation. While if you talk about JVC polls, that was giving clear-cut mandate to AIDMK plus. But what we can see in all the polls, TVK is getting somewhere between 18 to 19 seats. In fact, everybody is giving double-digit seats to Vijay's party. And therefore, I come to you, Mr. Menkar. Do you think now this will be the deciding factor in Tamil Nadu, Vijay?
It will not be the deciding factor. As I said, Tamil Nadu politics was divided in 2 poles. I mean, when there was Jayalalitha, then there was Karunanidhi. Which after Jayalalitha, there is a big vacuum, and now that particular vacuum is Thalapathy Vijay is trying to take over, but still AIADMK is being in a way pumped by BJP. They are trying that with the legacy of Jayalalitha, BJP can make inroads in Tamil politics. Had it not been there, of course, Thalapathy Vijay would have taken the place. It's a fact that while Pawan Kalyan tried the same thing in Andhra Pradesh, the same experiment is being made here with TVK. Is trying to make either the third force and slowly reaching to second one. But BJP he will have to prefer either BJP, of course the BJP, then only he can survive. Otherwise, in the triangular contest, one of the 3 will have to be washed out. It could be AIA, DMK or TVK. So with Stalin is sitting pretty, with his Dravidian identity, Dravidian politics, he is sitting pretty and it definitely come to power. But TVK is trying to give the new dimension, because the Tamil politics, which was divided always in 2 poles, in the absence of one pole, Thalapathy Vijay is trying to show that he is another pole, just like taking over the place of Jayalalitha.
Absolutely, Mr. Menkar, and let me come to you, Mr. Pachauri. Mr. Pachauri, here we're talking about Tamil Nadu, but let me get our focus back on Bengal, because, that's been one hell of an interesting election. If we talk about West Bengal, the voter turnout particularly, if you see, phase 1 was over 90%. The second phase is also quite brilliant. In fact, if we look at the highest percentage turnout, it's been Purba Bardhaman, that is over 83%. The lowest is Kolkata South, that is still 75%. How do you really sort of read these kind of numbers? And especially, let's also talk about SIR, the deletions, at least 12% of the votes according to many estimates. And Mamata Banerjee has raised this issue over and over again. So to what extent will this issue be able to disrupt the voting arithmetic in the state?
See, SIR has been a very big issue, and Mamata Banerjee has very adroitly, politically, has worked on that issue, that they are trying to throw us out in the name of the Kuspetia. And then she actually called the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, as Kuspetia from Gujarat. So she is very smart that way. And that's why, if you look at these poll numbers, and it's the old thing, South Calcutta, very well-heeled people don't come out too much, 75%. And then the hinterland, quite voting very high. 3 things which I have gathered by talking to people about elections in Bengal. Number 1, that the deployment of such large number of security forces is being seen as a direct intervention by the center. And that's why that whole slogan of Didi versus Delhi has started. It's a very potent slogan. So that's number one. Number two, if you look at the voting percentage kind of a thing, the SIR has actually helped in the good voters coming out more than the bad voters who do not vote. So the base has become lower, and that's why they're doing it. The third great thing about a very important thing about, and you should keep in mind, and your exit polls on this is that I was talking to some pollsters who were out there, big polling companies, and they were saying that earlier, only 2 out of 10 people who were coming out after casting their vote did not want to speak to their agents at the polling booth. And this time that had gone up to 6 people. 6 out of 10 people did not want to talk about who they had voted for. So there's going to be a very small sample size, number one, and that's why it can change. The exit polls can be quite different from what actually the result comes out ultimately. So there is a flag there, and I'd like to do that. Secondly, Ajay was talking about the impact of on the economy and business of these polls. If there is a change to BJP from Mamata Banerjee after 2 terms, you have to look at very clearly at the infrastructure companies. Some of the infrastructure companies, very small ones, but I've just noticed, I'm not a market guy, but I've just noticed that they've gone up by 58% in last 1 month. So they are expecting that the BJP or NDA may come to power and there will be more infrastructure in West Bengal.
Right. We'll have to await the numbers of Bengals, and we are expecting it very soon. But before it comes, it's time to take a very quick break. Don't go away. We'll continue the coverage.
ये असम है मॉडल 2.4 की रेडी है